Hi everyone, I'm Billy V, and I'm going to extend my talk on the head and the heart because I really think it's so important to get this message out. I've been getting downloads from my guides and my angels, and I'm an intuitive, I'm a medium, and I do channel. And it's been so helpful for me to figure out myself. And I think this topic is really important for where we are as a unified, as a planet, as humans, coming from the 3D and entering into the 5D and how that process works. So just like a recap, um, basically we, for the last, hundreds of years, we've been dealing in the 3D, and basically uh, that's just the program that the mind holds. And in that program, uh, the way I remember it is when I was a little boy, um, I was programmed to believe everything I was taught from my parents, from my environment, and the things that were going on. And in that, I picked up a lot of fear and phobias that carried through my life and held me back in my growth in my profession and the things that I needed to do. So along the way, also early on, I started seeing spirit at 3 years old, and been very intuitive all since that process. And so I lived in two worlds. I had my spiritual world, and I had the physical world telling me what to do, what not to do, when to go to church, when to go to school. I'm good, I'm bad, and all these things. And sometimes there was quite a bit of abuse from family members that happened to me. And I discovered early on that some of those negativities got trapped in my field and in my consciousness. So it almost held me back at times, and I had to do a lot of counseling, a lot of researching on my own to figure out my spirituality and my physical side, but how to deal with those pains. So I find that when in life, life is not easy, and you have issues like that, what happens is that if you run across someone or somebody who, let's say, who's rude to you or mean to you, or a boss that's tough and it's not fair or whatever it is, some of those experiences will come up in my soul, in my being, and will affect how I will react. So I had to search and find a way, find a way how to, through my spirituality, how to find my soul in myself, not the program. The program is the rules that keep us stuck, and it tends to be forced by the ego, right? Because the ego is there to protect you. And that's that little voice that says you can't do this or you can't do that. So what would happen is eventually I had to figure out how to heal myself. So I started reading books and finding people through my spiritual intuition, and finding a way to find my inner soul. And in the research, I found that it's based in the heart, and I found that the heart is the connection to source. The heart is the connection to who I was prior to coming into this physicality. And the ego and the program and the brain part is the part that keeps us trapped in these physical bodies with all these rules and all these boxes that say we don't have enough money, or we're not part of a group, or we're not good enough, and all this program. So getting back to the hard part is that there is a difference, and if you could step out of your way and analyze what your head is saying. So what I mean by that is sometimes you go to do certain things and your head will say, I don't think you should do that, because you may have some fear-based emotion that dictates why you shouldn't step out and try something new. Or if you have a dream to be something, your head will say, well, remember last time you tried that and you failed and you can't do it. When you go into your heart, you get empowered because you have a connection to source through the heart, that gives you the permission, gives you the feeling that you can overcome. So basically what I'm trying to say is that it's to try to separate the two and acknowledge when you get these thoughts to center yourself. So how do we do that? So along the years, I found a way, either through meditation. Sometimes I used to go for long walks. Sometimes I would go to the beach and just be still. But I needed to, or go into nature, go into hikes, get around some trees. But I had to find a place where I can calm my mind, because I have the kind of mind that just keeps on going and going and going and going. So I had to find a place to find some peace, to calm down in nature, at the beach, go for a walk. And these days I actually meditate every morning. I stand on the earth, on the dirt, and I do deep breathing there, and I meditate and I calm my mind down. I practiced enough, and it takes practice. It's not easy. I also kind of shut the TV off and the drama. I try to stay out of the drama thinking. I try to avoid people that want to dump a bunch of negative on me because they just heard a catastrophe and they want to embellish on it. You know, you got to try to protect yourself from all this negative input. And in this practice of trying to center yourself and find yourself, eventually I found ways to love myself, because in reality, if you can't love yourself and take care of yourself, there's no way you can make the difference between the head and the heart and start listening to those negative voices that will interfere with what you're trying to do. So in the long run, what I think will try to work is find something that you're passionate about, to start the path to try to still your mind so you can feel your heart. And in that passion, you'll find yourself, you'll find your gifts in that passion. And eventually you'll start building that kind of muscle where you now start allowing intuition to come in, because we're all psychic. I mean, I'm sure there's many of you who drive. How many times you've driven on the road and you get in the car and you get to your destination and you don't remember how you got there, because you kind of went into this trance. You know, when you're daydreaming, you're channeling, you're in a trance. So, and that's really good for you. When I was growing up, they used to say that that was bad for you, and we used to get in trouble for doing that, because they try to shut all these attributes down to control you so you could fit in the boxes of society that tells you have to be this or that. You know, in the new energy, there's no black and white. Everybody has to be who they need to be, and we should honor and have compassion for all people, no matter where they're at. So the answer to that is to be inside their heart. So hopefully some of these ideas will help. In my next videos coming up, I will maybe go into more detail on how to start a meditation practice, or maybe even my ideas when I get the intuition and channel comes through me to talk, and sometimes it feels like an out-of-body experience, and we'll touch all those other aspects as we move on. So hope this helped, and I will be putting on some more videos, and I hope you enjoyed it.